welcome back to the Empower Her podcast. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, and that's routines, specifically our morning and night routines, because so many people do this wrong. I can't tell you the number of people I see doing routines and they're just wrong. You should be excited about your routine. You should not feel like you're dreading your routine, like you don't want to do your routine. That if you get up, oh my God, I have to do my routine. Oh my God, I have to do my bedtime routine. We should not be feeling this way, okay? Your morning and night routines aren't working because you're most likely creating them for other people or based on what other people are doing and what works for them. For example, so many of my clients tell me, oh, I'm trying to journal every day, but I can't. Or they try to meditate every day, but they can't. Or they want to wake up at 5 every day in the morning and can't. Well, duh, because you think that's what you need and you think that's what you should be doing versus doing what your mind and body actually wants and needs. It's okay to get inspiration from other people, right? That's totally fine. That's, how we learn. But you shouldn't be doing what other people are doing just for the sake of it, right? So let's talk about how you can actually create routines that are going to work for you. And my tried and true tip is you need a menu card. Okay, so let's talk about what a menu card is. You don't need to decide every single thing that you're going to be doing every single minute, right? You can have rules like, for example, no phone for 30 minutes when you wake up, no phone 30 minutes before you go to bed, right? But ultimately, you want a menu card. And a menu card is a list of all those things that you can do that would make you feel great. So it's a list of all the mindset, all the nervous system regulation tools, everything that's going to make you feel good, you write it down. And then, depending on the morning, the evening, how much energy you have, how much time you have, you pick and choose what works for you that day. So this is perfect because this gives you structure. You have the list of those things that work for you so you don't have to think about it, but also flexibility so that you can see what's going to work for you that given day so you don't feel pressure to wake up, do your meditation, do your journaling, and feel shitty about it, right? That's the goal. And of course, you need to do research before, you need to understand what feels good to you, but then you have the options. So that's the structure with the flexibility, which is so, so, so important because at the end of the day, life is changing, right? Some of you have kids and they wake up 30 minutes earlier one morning, so you don't have that extra time. Or you have a stressful job and one day you feel so exhausted that instead of meditating, you need 15 more minutes of sleep, right? Or you have anxiety, so you don't feel like you can eat breakfast that morning. So you need to understand your life and what works for you and what doesn't. And we live in this world where we compare, right? We see on Instagram, we see on TikToks the day in the lives, people posting, they're meditating for 5 million hours, they're doing all the things. But maybe that's not you, right? Maybe that's not what works for you. And that's not reality for most people, right? And we want to start small. The next mistake I see is that my clients and people that I see around me will try to implement like 10, 20, 15 new things into their routine. I'm like, guys, what are we doing? Why are you doing 10 new things when you can't even commit to one thing, right? Start small. Maybe you just start with 5 minutes of no phone in the morning and then you go to 10 minutes the next week. And maybe you just start with 5 minutes of journaling every other day. I was just talking about this with a client. She was saying how she doesn't feel like, she's doing her nervous system regulation work, but she's doing it 4 times a week. I said, great. Does it feel good? She says, yes, she feels amazing when she does it. I'm like, great. Can we bump it up to 5 days a week? Notice I didn't tell her, okay, let's just do 7 days a week off the bat because that's not realistic for her and her life. And we've worked together, so I know how she works and I know her dynamic. But I said to her, like, okay, let's just do 5 days a week, right? We don't need to jump to 7 days a week. That's not necessary, right? At the end of the day, your morning and night routine are imperative for success. So I think you should have one. I believe you should have one. I tell every single client of mine to have one, right? But it shouldn't feel like a burden. It shouldn't feel like a burden. Studies show that people who have routines and do the mindset and nervous system regulation work are happy, healthier, they have more success in their work, they have better work-life balance, they have more abundance, just spiritually, mentally, physically, they're just better. So I'm always going to tell you to have a morning and a night routine, always. But if your morning and night routine is causing you more stress rather than helping with your stress and anxiety, that's a problem. That's a problem. We need to work with what you have. It's not about driving yourself into the ground. Everyone needs something different. So we really need to take that into consideration, and we really need to understand what it is that you need specifically. And this is why you create a menu card of options. These are all the things that you enjoy, all the things that work well for you. And then, depending on the day, depending on what your needs are, you pick and choose what you need in that moment. That's what you have to do, okay? So now that we've established we need a menu card, let's figure out how to create the menu card, okay? So the first thing we need to do is we need to understand what your pain points are. So think about these questions. What causes you stress? What makes you anxious? Do you feel tired and groggy? Do you have trouble sleeping or falling asleep? Think about all the things in your life that don't feel good or that feel like they're out of whack, whether it's physically, in your environment, time, sleep, energy, food, exercise, everything that feels off, that you feel like you don't have time for, that just doesn't feel good. And this is what we're going to base the menu card on, right? The goal is to help you feel better. So, first, we need to identify what doesn't work so that then we can put things in place that do work. So, just my personal example is before I really got into the routines and having the nervous system and mindset work, I was someone that was super anxious, like very, very anxious. I was having panic attacks. I had trouble falling asleep. I was a great sleeper, but had trouble falling asleep. It would take me like an hour to fall asleep every night, which was just so crazy. And I felt physically bloated, didn't feel good in my body, just felt like something was off despite, eating healthy, energizing foods, exercising regularly, trying to get 8 hours of sleep. I just didn't feel good, right? So these were the aspects that I wanted to target and the things that I really wanted to work on. So, after you've identified your pain points, this is where we need to identify what to implement. So, this will depend on the person, and this is what I really work with my clients on, is giving them the tools. And that's what's great about working with a coach, is someone like me has the tools to actually tell you and give you support on what helps with stress, what helps with anxiety, what helps with lack of sleep, right? But here's a couple of examples. So if you're stressed, meditation and visualization exercises are going to be really great for stress. If you're anxious, nervous system regulation work is a must. That helps so much with anxiety. Things like EFT tapping, breath work is really great. Also, for anxiety, you may need to set boundaries. So, having scripts on how to set boundaries is going to be really important for you, writing out scripts for yourself so that you can do that. Sleep, of course, sleep can be caused by stress and anxiety, but in general, we want to think about the phone, the blue light that you're consuming right off the bat, right? Like those are the things that greatly affect those and your sleep right off the bat. That was a big change for me, is really not having blue light. I wear blue light glasses. I even wear blue light glasses during the day just because I was getting really bad headaches from looking at my screen all day. I have my phone I turn the blue light off. I think it goes automatically off at like 9 p.m. or something like that. And that's really helped me. And then no phone 30 minutes to an hour before going to sleep, right? That's been really helpful for sleep. Think of lack of exercise, right? If you are feeling like you don't have enough exercise, maybe it's because you're tired or groggy. Maybe you need to wake up at a different time. Maybe you need to have different nutrition that'll make you feel energized, right? We want to think about what we can implement there. And again, depending on what your needs are, you're going to make this list and then start doing things in the morning and night. And just start with 5 minutes. 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night. Maybe you're just doing affirmations in the morning to help with your abundance mindset. And then maybe at night you're doing no phone and blue light glasses when you watch TV, right? Small things. If you can do these things for 5 minutes in the morning and at night for 2 weeks, and you feel like you feel better and good, then change it to 10 minutes for 2 weeks, then 15 minutes, right? You want to work with your schedule. You want to work with your energy. You want to work with what feels good to you in the moment, right? Maybe one day you feel like you're extra anxious and need the meditation, or maybe you just want to regulate your nervous system and it's super hot outside, so you're going to take a cold shower, right? That's really good for regulating nervous system if you don't have a cold plunge, which is all the craze, but it does actually work. So think about what you need in the moment, right? But when you know what to do to feel better, it's going to be so much easier. And you're just going to have those list of things and you'll just be able to do them, right? And I will preach this time blue in the face. You need to do what works for you. You need to create the menu card and you need to start small. Menu card is my biggest and best tip for anyone. And I teach this to all my clients about why you need a menu card and why you need it to actually be successful in creating your morning and night routine. Okay. And then having those morning and night routine is what's going to set you up for success for everything else in your life. But we're starting basic today. Morning and night routine, 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night. Write that menu card out. Use the questions I asked as a journal prompt. Figure out what your most pertinent issues are, and then start to write the menu card and 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes at night. You will find, I guarantee this, you will find that you're going to be so much more consistent in your routines because of this, because not only are you going to start to feel the benefits, you're going to be more excited to do the routines. You're going to feel so much happier to do the routines. You're going to actually enjoy doing them because they're going to be fun and you get to pick and choose every day what works for you, right? How fun is that? And again, it's going to lead to so many benefits: mental health, physical health, productivity, success in every area of your life. I can't stress how important this is. This is the number one thing that I start with my clients when I work with them, regardless of what they come to me with about anything that they have going on, is let's create the routines. Let's start adding things into your life. Because at the end of the day, the mindset work and nervous system regulation work is what's going to be key to be successful. It really is, period. There's lots of studies that show this, and it really is what matters. So let's create that routine. And if you don't want to do this alone, I have one-to-one coaching available. I just launched my new 3-month container. So it's 3 months long. You get one-to-one coaching with me plus support during the week on any questions you have, anything you want me to support you on. So it's super interactive. I'm there for you on a daily basis, and I can help you reach whatever goal that is. I work with a lot of high-achieving neurodivergent women. So whether you want to get a promotion, whether you want to set boundaries at work, just have a healthier, happier life, whether you want to feel less overstimulated, burnout, and stressed, I got you. This is what I specialize in. I love routines. I love creating the structure for my clients so that they can have more time, freedom, and energy to be creative and do the things that they love, whether it's their hobbies, in work, whatever it is. This is literally what I live for. I absolutely love this. So if you want to work with me, I'm going to link it in the show notes, but you can also go to my website as well. And I am taking on new clients, so make sure you grab your spot. I hope you enjoyed this quick little episode, a little shorter than normal, but I really wanted to talk about this topic as I think it's so, so important. And definitely give me your feedback on Instagram on how it's going and if you created your menu card. I hope you all have an amazing, amazing week, and I'm going to see you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.